Okay, so today's presentation will be on guidelines and rules for an online lesson. Um, what's deemed appropriate and what are some examples too. In a very general sense, there will be future videos that give more detailed examples of what we call best teaching. And my university is using Zoom and Moodle, so I'm going to focus mostly on those two. General rules and guidelines for the online class. Now, the first rule is the most important one, and if you remember nothing else, you could just go with this. The first rule, and the rule that covers all the other rules, is that the online class has to follow all the same rules as an ordinary face-to-face class. Now, you think this might be simple, but we are so used to face-to-face classes that most of us haven't really analyzed all of the great things we do in those classes and haven't thought about how to transfer all of those great things into our online teaching practice. Now, luckily, MEXT, the educational ministry, has given us some rules to make us think a little bit more. The online class has to take the same time as an ordinary face-to-face class. It does seem simple, but it doesn't mean you can, for example, a teacher says, oh, I give so much homework right now online. I can just move that into my online class, and that's going to cut out 45 minutes. No way. The ordinary face-to-face class, by MEXT's standards, is not only 90 minutes, but it's 90 minutes plus homework, 90 minutes plus preparation and review of your 90-minute class. So you can't just take the homework and move it into your 90 minutes, required 90 minutes. You have to provide the students somehow with the equivalent kind of educational experience that they would also get with the 90-minute face-to-face, and then give them extra stuff or general guidance about how to practice and prepare for your class. Next, it has to be, the online class has to have proactive feedback, communication, and evaluation coming from the teacher, but also from the students to the teacher. Think about automatic things we do on a face-to-face class. We grade assignments. We have the students raise their hand and ask questions in class. We have a way of the students contacting us by line or by email or by anything. And we also give students guidance and feedback from us ourselves. That is not just like a test or even just feedback, written advice or spoken advice on a composition. Next, the online class should have a way for students to discuss things with each other. The online class next should have some kind of whole class question and answer, just like a student raising their hand in class and saying, excuse me, I'm sorry, but I didn't hear the deadline for that assignment. Could you repeat it again, please? And this is a rule that doesn't really come to mind immediately, but these are things that also cannot be done on an online class. For example, on a face-to-face class or an online class. A face-to-face class cannot just be the teacher reading the textbook or telling the students to read the textbook. It can't just be the teacher comes to class and plugs in a video, plays it, and then after taking attendance, tells the next week's preparation and homework and leaves. The face-to-face class cannot just be going to the computer room and using a third party or commercial online educational material and doing nothing else but that for most of the classes. The teacher has to be proactive in class design in a face-to-face class and also in an online class. But from my personal view on this, I'm not completely clear on why. The Ministry of Education is particularly against a distance learning class being conducted mostly or just by email. So that's something to consider. A balance of all these things is okay, but mostly or just one of them will not be acceptable.